Welcome to Audacity with Undergrad. I'm a second-year law student at a top 30 law school in New York City, and I'm here to give you law school advice. I'm here to help you decide if law school is for you or not, and give you advice on how to succeed on your law school application process, and help you succeed once you do enter law school. Remember, this is a positive and encouraging space, so leave your fear, anxiety, and doubt at the door. Okay? I want to give you everything you need to succeed right here on Audacity with Undergrad. Today we'll be talking about things you need to research and consider before you even start the application process. I want to release these videos in a useful order. I want you to take your time through this process because you're about to change the trajectory of your entire life. Between the start of your application process and when you take the bar exam after you graduate law school, it's going to be over 3 years. You'll be spending at least 4 months preparing to apply to law school, 3 years in law school, and then at least a few months after that preparing for your bar exam. I encourage you to not rush this process, to really make sure this is a journey you want to embark on before you start applying to law school. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. In my opinion, that could be a great thing. The only way to go is up from here. Law school is an investment. It doesn't have to be a dream of yours or even the end goal, but it can surely get you where you want to go. So, here are the things that you need to consider before you start your law school application process. So, you should consider the different types of lawyers and careers where you may have a JD advantage. You should also decide where you want to live and work one day. Third, you should research the different law schools in that area that you're interested in. And lastly, of course, you need to talk to people. You should consider reaching out to law students, a pre-law advisor if you have one, different admission counselors, attorneys if you have access to one, whoever you can get a hold of that can give you some more insight about what law school is like. I should also preface this by saying anyone can go to law school as long as you have an undergraduate degree. It doesn't matter if you have a criminal record. You would just have to disclose that information during the application process. You don't have to be a citizen in the United States either. It doesn't matter if you have a disability. There are accommodations that can help you. And the list goes on. Don't disqualify yourself from getting into law school. Another thing to consider is not everyone that goes to law school actually wants to be a lawyer. There are other career paths that you have a JD advantage in. Having your Juris Doctor degree may make you more valuable or desirable candidate when it comes to getting that job. 1. Researching the different types of lawyers or different practice areas. I'll put up a list here of the types of law that I was interested in. Ask yourself, what do you want to do one day? Well, generally, lawyers pretty much just read, write, and research all the time. That's the bulk of what we all do. But it varies in what type of area that you practice in. So do your research on that aspect. Having an idea of what type of law you'd like to practice can be useful when it comes to choosing a law school. Don't forget to keep your options open. Everyone changes their mind about what area they really want to practice in once they get to law school, and even once they graduate. 2, consider where you want to live once you're done with law school. Think about it. When you're in law school, you're going to be learning all the different laws in that particular state. Not only that, but during the 3 years that you're in law school, you'll be making connections with people in that city or state that you've been living in. You may be making it harder for yourself if you go to a school that isn't in the state that you want to practice in. But I'm sure you can make it work if you want to. You can always take more than one bar exam. I'll probably end up doing that. My school's in New York City, but I don't know if I actually want to stay in New York City once I graduate. Could be New Jersey, could be Philadelphia, could be DC. Do I have to have everything figured out right this second? I don't. So, another thing to consider when choosing a location is how close it is to your family. That can be very important to some people. I'm only 2 hours away from home in Philadelphia, so that is really convenient for me. If you're considering moving to New York City for law school, well, good luck. No. If you're considering moving to New York City for law school, I think I should do a whole nother video about that specifically. There's a lot to consider as far as the cost of living, commuting, and more. Third, it's time to research some schools. And my mistake was I started off looking at the rank. Rank is not the best place to start when you're deciding on a law school. It is superficial. There's a lot more things to consider. More important things to consider might be the size, the academic experience, the student experience, and for me, what was really important was diversity. It's so easy to get caught up in numbers like rank, but you should probably focus more on numbers like the tuition cost and the total financial cost of going to school in that place. That means the tuition plus the cost of living plus how much it's going to cost to commute, rent, groceries. Those will add up. You should really be aware of how much debt you're going to take on by the end of that full experience. I'm pretty sure my tuition is like $70,000. Let me double check that and put it up on the screen. It's not cheap. Be smart, because this is a big investment. So yeah, a highly ranked school is great, but you may be able to have that same experience, maybe even better, at a school that's way more affordable. So you should really consider that. If a school has a particular program that really interests you, they may be higher on your list. Other important numbers are the percentage of students that are employed after graduation, or the job placement rate, and also the percentage of students who pass the bar exam. Here's why these numbers are important. You want to go to a school that's actually going to get you into a job one day. Period. You're putting in a lot of money in order to get a career that you want. Make sure that school can get you where you want to go. What the bar passage rate shows you is that this school is actually preparing their students to be successful on the bar exam. People still have to pay money for a course and or materials to study for the bar exam. So I don't know. Well, I haven't reached the bar exam part yet in this journey, but a useful tool I used in deciding which school was best for me was accesslex.com. This is not sponsored. This is just something that I used when I was applying to law school. It's a free online resource where aspiring law students can use tools that are meant to help with financial decision making. They offer things like one-on-one coaching with a financial advisor to make sure you're making informed decisions about your future. This is a lot to take on. What I found most useful was their Explore JD resource. Basically, they ask you a series of questions on factors you should consider before choosing a law school, and you get to say which things are most important to you, and they generate a list of schools that fit into what you're looking for. Fourth, you gotta talk to people. If you know anyone who's been to law school or who is in law school, that's a great place to start. If not, looks like you got to start making some connections. It's time to put any shyness and pride to the side. You have questions and they have answers. Most people are really happy to help, and it's a good way to build your network. Lucky for me, I was still in college when I was going through the law school application process. So I did have a pre-law advisor that I can make appointments with and ask questions. Another great thing you should do if you are still in college is to join pre-law associations. Always a good idea to be around other like-minded people who are on the same journey as you. It can give you a lot of resources and help you bounce ideas off of people. It feels good not to be alone. I was in one when I was at Penn State. I actually was the vice president of our multicultural undergraduate law association. We were able to do things like go on law school visits, meet with admissions counselors, take practice LSAT exams. It was a great time. Ask people you know to connect you if they know someone who's been to law school. Get all the information you need. I think I even messaged people on Instagram. Another thing I would do is go to Instagram, choose the law school that I was interested in, and then go to their BALSA account. BALSA is the Black Law Students Association. I would just scroll through and see what it was looking like, if they were active, and if it looked like there was a lot of Black students there. I love diversity, and I wanted to make sure that there were other Black students there as well. The school I go to now has a strong BALSA presence, and I love it. Hopefully I can get some of our members on Audacity with Abba so that you can hear from other people and not just me. Well, that's all I have for you today. So before you start your law school application process, research. Figure out the different types of law that you're interested in, the location that you want to live in one day. Research those schools, and of course, talk to people. Thank you for listening. This is Audacity with Abba Gray.